good day, YouTube, and welcome to Bishop's Blast. I'm your host, go by the name of Dr. Meebane, where we dive into what I consider a sanitized version of a YouTube channel where we talk about all things firearms related. Now, I'm not a subject matter expert by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just an old retired Navy guy who loves God, has quite the affinity for all things that go boom. At this time, I want you to do me a favor. That's what it is. I need you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you will be able to help me chronicle my to a Second Amendment journey. And if we do this, I think we might be able to have a blast together. Since I'm already asking for those favors, let me ask for one more. That's right. You can just tap that like button and share it with someone. Share it, share it, share it, so that we'll be able to get this information as far and wide as possible. And for that, I need you. So I want to welcome you to once again another edition of Bishop's Blast. Come on, let's get it in. Today we're going into a completion, if you will, of a series of tabletop reviews that I've been doing. I think I went pistol, rifle, pistol, and today's supposed to be rifle. I think that's how it went. I think I did rifle. No, I did pistol last time. So this is going to be my conclusion. Probably would jump into a whole lot of other stuff coming up in the upcoming weeks. But for this is another tabletop review. And that's right, I promised you a rifle again. So now we're back to the long guns. Once again, y'all know my specialty. I like the handguns. I like pistols, specifically those that are semi-automatic, strike-fired pistols. Don't care if they're polymer, steel. Kind of starting to lean more towards trying to get some steel or aluminum frame firearms. But I'm just a collector, so whatever comes my way. But I will go ahead and let you know we're going to jump into a long gun today, and it won't be long, but I'm going to go into a quick review. And today's review of this rifle, that's right, rifle. Remember I said somewhat. I'm going to present to some and introduce to others none other than the Keltec P2000. Y'all see that? The Keltec P2000. Now, somebody's saying, hey, look, Bishop, you told me we were going to get into some long guns. This thing don't even look like a gun, more or less a long gun. How is this possibly a rifle? Well, I'm glad that you asked, because this is actually a rifle. But this Keltec P2000, all you have to do is take this thing, pull it out, extend it, and now you actually have a rifle. Now, just to let you know, magazine, the bolt is already held open. Back, go ahead and show you that with this, it is actually clear, safe direction, and shoot. This is the Keltec P2000. That's right, it's a PCC, a pistol caliber carabine. So that means it's chambered in my favorite caliber, the 9mm. And this one specifically uses Glock 19 magazines. I enjoy it, I love it. And actually, this is the Model 2. The first original model is somewhat similar, except the front sight was kind of plasticky, and these charging handle didn't work exactly the same. But for the most part, there was just various changes that they did. I'm glad they changed this front sight that make it metal. I really wish that they would take this back sight and make that metal. I don't know, that Gen 3 might do something similar to that. I haven't actually held it. I just saw videos of it, but I haven't held it. But there's something about it that I'll speak about shortly. Now, with this Gen 2, it takes all Glock 19 mags, and as you already know, if it takes Glock 19 mags, that means it takes Glock 17 mags. That means it'll take the 50-round drum gun, it'll take the 33-round stick. So it'll take whatever will actually go into the Glock. And it has a decent front and back sights. There's no color on it, so it's kind of blacked out front and back. I might try to put something on it to make it a little bit more visible, but shooting it, I didn't have any problem when it pertains to accuracy. Also, because this is a PCC, a pistol caliber carbine, if you're out there shooting steel, most of the times you don't do that close range when you're having a rifle, but for this PCC, no problem. If you have to get a little close and personal with a little steel, it's not going to be too much of a bother. Now, the only thing that I've changed thus far is to put this foregrip on it, and the reason why I did that is because that's just the way that I normally handle a rifle and how I hold it. So I like it. It precludes my hand from going forward, and it allows me good perch when I'm trying to hold onto it. Even though this doesn't have that much when it comes down to felt recoil, I love the way that the buttstock feels up against my shoulder. I have no problem with it. To show you the folding mechanism. One thing you need to do is you have to understand right here, when you push right here in the around the trigger guard, you push the trigger guard down, it releases this so that you can actually fold it. See how neat that is? And when you're actually pulling it out, there's this little depressor right here. So once you pull this depressor back, you actually can go ahead, snap that out, and you're good to go and ready to go into action. Once again, from a purpose perspective, I don't know about this. Home defense, probably not, even though it probably could do the job. Obviously, I'm not carrying this thing, even though I will show you what it's good for. Once again, it's probably, just like last week, it's probably more of a range toy for me, or just something that I would use for plinking. Now, when it comes down to it, let me share one thing. I didn't initially like that the charging handle is at the bottom. I didn't. However, I did like the fact that you can almost, once you have it back, and you're actually going in to engage, you can just slap it and get and go in there, and it actually will load the chamber around. Now, when you also are shooting this, just so that you'll know, one thing that it will not do is, on the last one, for all the things that we're used to, when it fires the last time and it leaves the chamber open, this doesn't work that way. So the chamber will stay and remain closed even on the last round is open. So you just have to know that that's the last one, or keep pulling the trigger and hearing click and nothing happening. The one thing about this that makes it very formidable is the fact that once you do this, and this is where it falls more so in the usage of this. I have my Harley Davidson backpack because I like riding Harleys. This is something that fits real easy in this little backpack, and if I was out there on a camping trip and stuff, it's easy for me to access it, pull this firearm out, and if I needed to go and to engage, grab this, pull back, and then just go. So this Keltec P2000 is another fun plinking firearm. Could be used to you were out there, you had to get something out of the road or that was bothering you. This might do the job, but the Keltec P2000 is just more for a range toy for me. Now, one thing that I do want to do with this, I'm probably not going to put a light on this because once again, I'm probably not going to use it for home defense. However, I do plan on putting an optic on it, and the one problem that they had with these, which they changed with the Mod 3, is if you put an optic on the top rail, it won't allow it to close all the way because the optic will be sitting right here. However, what I'm going to do is I ordered something that fits right here and allows the optic to kind of cant to the side. And with the optic canted to the side, even when I close it out, it doesn't really matter because it'll allow it to still go flush once I do that. So later on, when I do a shooting review of it another time, I'll come back out and I'll show you exactly how this looks when you do it from that perspective. But I wanted you to know this is something fun, pretty accurate. I only probably have maybe 1,500 rounds through this. But it even point of aim. The funny part about it is when I wasn't even using the sights, I was pretty accurate with this. Now, this is one thing that somebody think is a bummer. Different than other rifles where I'm just here and shooting, I pretty much have to cheek this thing all the way down here to really get up on it so I can get onto that sight. Doesn't bother me. It's not like the AR pistol that it's so loud that it might bother me. It doesn't bother me at all. Remember, this is chambered in 9mm. So this little gun that is actually made out of Cocoa, Florida, the Keltec P2000. I want you to understand it is the Sub 2000. It is a great firearm for what it is. And so for any of you looking for a bag gun or a truck gun, please, if you will, get you Keltec Sub 2000. I just always hear that if you're gonna get these, my friend Tommy told me to make it real useful, probably gonna put a little bit of money in and throwing some stuff on it to make it a little bit more feasible for your use. But for what it's worth, not a bad gun. Since I collect them, why not? So, last and final, here's your visual of the Keltec Sub 2000. Chambered in 9mm, taking Glock 19. We have a lot of magazines, so we're good to go. That's my time, and I wanted to thank you once again for tuning in with me to another edition of Bishop's Blast. I want to let you know, probably going to be off the tabletop reviews and going into some other things that I wanted to talk about. And once again, still looking and hopefully trying to get hooked up to go to some gun shows and doing some other things. There may be some reviews that I will be doing for those that are sending me firearms and want to do them. Remember, at this point in time, nobody's paying me for a review, and I'm a man of integrity, so nobody can sway me just because you throw money my way. However, I don't mind. It's something that I have a good time doing, so I don't mind sharing the information that I get as it pertains to firearm related knowledge with each and every one of you. And so I'm a student of this. I'm learning as I go. And I thank you for continuing to stay with me as I chronicle my 2A journey. And I'm hoping that we're having a blast together. So I'm going to ask you to continue to tune in with me for Bishop's Blast. And I want you to stay tuned and be blessed. Take care.